As India's leading manufacturer of plywood, veneers and laminates, Century Ply, which was set up in 1986, is always committed to providing the best quality and ensuring the customer trust is always upheld. Plywood is a major product of the company, and today we will see the entire manufacturing process of plywood. Plywood is constructed of layers of veneers, which are thin layers of wood joined together. The inner construct of ply is made of core veneers, which are again classified into cross core and panel core. The two outer surfaces are then covered with face veneers to give the finished product an aesthetic look. Eco-friendly timbers are sourced from plantations carefully selected for top quality as per norms of the Indian Green Building Corporation. Water is continuously sprinkled to make logs softer for debarking and peeling. Hardwood varieties need more time to soften them sufficiently. The process called bucking is done under a chainsaw to bring the logs to proper length to facilitate the next step. The non-uniform bark of the timber is removed in a process called debarking. This makes the logs smoother. The logs are now rotated through a blade, and this process is called peeling. The peeled sheets are further passed through cutting blades, which cuts them in uniform sizes. Imported machines ensure that the thickness of the peeled layers is maintained at uniform levels. Moisture of the peeled sheets, which are called veneers, has to be brought down to a certain level, which is typically 8 to 12% depending upon atmospheric conditions and temperature. This is called equilibrium moisture content. The dried veneers are stacked to further condition them. They're typically stacked in piles of up to 4 feet so as to avoid damage, because at Century Ply, the quality parameters are of paramount importance at each stage. Next, the dried and conditioned veneers are passed through the automated core composers. The benefit of core composing is that we get gapless, non-overlapping and high-strength layers. The veneers are stitched one by one with hot melt high-strength threads, imported to match international standards. The 8-feet glue spreader is where Century Ply's proprietary anti-termite and borer treatment is introduced along with the glue to each sheet of veneer, ensuring that all layers of ply are totally covered. The glue spreader ensures uniform distribution of the glue mixture over the whole sheet, because the 8-feet glue spreader covers the whole 8-feet sheet at one go, thus maintaining uniform distribution. Century Ply's patented chemical is added to the glue, and this gets into each and every sheet, including core and panel. This proprietary treatment is unique to Century Ply and is termed as GLP, or glue line protection, providing complete protection from termite and borer attacks. Another unique feature of this process is that each veneer sheet is placed perpendicular to each other for cross-linked bonding, ensuring high strength and durability. Here, it is important to note that in ply of any thickness, odd number of plies are maintained to ensure rigidity. Century Ply always does a pre-pressing stage, where the assembled full-length gapless core and panels are kept at high pressure but not heated. This ensures the uniform distribution of the glue in the cellulose structure of the wood. If the glue had been immediately heated, it would have solidified and stayed on the surface of each layer. Next, the mats are removed and put through the hot press under high pressure and controlled temperature. That allows the glue to bond properly with the veneers and imparts desired properties like strength, durability and longevity. Once the process is over, the mats are kept at room temperature for 6 to 12 hours to allow the glue to set. This is a very important step in the manufacturing process. Century Ply is always committed to providing high calibration and precision products. As per Indian standards, ply sheets have to be uniformly straight both horizontally and vertically. The double-dimensional saw is part of a conveyor belt system which once trims the edges vertically and then flips the sheet over and trims it horizontally. After trimming, the conveyor system passes it on to the wide belt sanding machine, which sands both surfaces of the sheet and makes it ready for the next stage. The sanded mats till now are composed of core veneers, but plywood should have an aesthetic and visual appeal. Face veneers are applied on both sides of each mat. They are again passed through glue spreader to apply the face veneers on both sides. Century Ply passes every product through a double cycle to minimize defects and errors. After refacing, the entire process of cold and hot pressing and final trimming and sanding are repeated. This double process of 4 times pressing ensures better compaction of the layers and is unique to Century Ply. Century Ply comes with a specially designed surface treatment called Viro Kill, which is activated nanoparticles which rupture and kill viruses on contact. In fact, it kills 99.99% of all viruses on surface contact, as per test certifications carried out by authorized laboratories. Century Ply is the only company providing ply with antimicrobial properties. For this, each individual ply sheet is dipped through a special formulation containing ACC or acid copper chromate. This is in accordance with BIS 5539 norms. Customer satisfaction and quality is the prime motto at Century Ply. Each sheet is individually passed through a series of tests and grading. First in line comes individual inspection and hand polishing to impart perfectness to each sheet. Each sheet is hammered to check for any defects. Finally, the sheets are printed with digital printer in the middle and solvent-based roller printer on the sides. The middle print area includes QR codes to discourage and negate duplication. Further, this process is environment-friendly too. The boards are stacked on wooden battens to provide a flat platform in such a way that it will give support at ends and corners of the boards, with intermediate battens placed at suitable intervals to avoid warping. The edges are color-coded to distinguish among the various sub-brands from Century Ply. The plywood sheets are now finally ready for dispatch. So now you have seen the journey of how plywood is manufactured, right from sourcing to dispatch. We hope you enjoyed learning all along the way.